India's investment advisory landscape has transformed radically over the past decade. In 2013, the regulatory body introduced the investment advisory regulations, and since then, multiple changes have been done to the same to make the IA regulations more robust. This segment still remains niche, as a lot of effort goes into getting the right talent, adhering to compliances, and setting up the perfect platform. This points to a crucial gap in the access to specialized investment guidance. The need for expert advisory services is particularly pronounced for HNI and UHNI clients, whose financial portfolios are far from complex. For our private banking clients who are evolving into global Indians, the role of a trusted investment advisor becomes even more critical. Hello, I'm Manisha Kochhar, Director of Investments and Portfolio Advisory at Kotak Private. I have been with Kotak Private for a little over 6 years now. My journey into private banking marked a significant shift from my previous role in bank treasury. I have nearly a decade experience working with forex, derivatives and debt capital markets, but investment advisory required an entirely different approach. One that involved engaging directly with HNI clients and understanding their unique financial needs. The transition wasn't easy, but it has been incredibly rewarding. Over the past 6.5 years at Kotak Private, I have worked with clients across North and East India, and I've helped them navigate complex investment and market strategies. More recently, I've also taken up the challenge of expanding our advisory services to non-resident HNI clients in the UAE. In the treasury segment, my interactions were primarily about institutional license, with corporate treasuries, insurance firms, provident funds, and public sector enterprises. Those engagements were highly structured and formal. They revolved around financial instruments and trades, rather than personal wealth. Also, while there were women in leadership roles, the discussions were strictly professional and rarely extended to personal financial decisions. Private banking, on the other hand, is far more personal. As investment advisors, we don't merely discuss wealth strategies. We engage deeply with clients and touch upon subjects like financial goals, family structures, and priorities in life. We also interact with more women on a regular basis. This is because in every family, there are women involved in wealth-related discussions, whether as silent spectators or active decision makers. This dynamic is very different from capital markets, where leadership roles for women were still relatively scarce. This shift has been extremely eye-opening. It proves that personal wealth isn't about numbers alone. It involves emotions, individual goals, generational legacies, and evolving family dynamics. Absolutely. I've observed that women investors tend to take a more measured and strategic approach to wealth management. They are typically less driven by fear of missing out and are more focused on long-term stability and structured financial planning. This is quite different from how men tend to approach investments. Sometimes they may be more involved in peer-driven trends and usually discuss their successful investments socially. Women, however, gravitate towards decisions that are shaped by personal accountability rather than external market noise. From an advisory perspective, this means women prefer risk-adjusted returns over aggressive, high-risk strategies. They often rely on trusted relationships with advisors and take the time to fully understand their financial options. When it comes to asset allocation, I have noticed that women prioritize capital preservation alongside growth. Many lean towards stable asset classes like real estate, gold, and fixed income instruments, though this has been evolving in recent years. Younger women, especially entrepreneurs and professionals, are increasingly showing great appetite for diversified portfolios that include equities and structured products. Yes, definitely. We are now seeing the rise of women who are global Indians. These are HNIs whose portfolios are no longer limited to just domestic investments. Their financial needs are evolving and they display a growing interest in diversified asset classes, international investments, and estate planning across borders. With many second-generation HNIs settling overseas, succession planning for our clients is becoming more complex. At Kotak Private, we remain committed to meeting the evolving requirements of these global Indians, whether they are expanding offshore or seeking investment opportunities back home. First-generation wealth creators often have an entrepreneurial mindset. They aren't just looking for investment advice. They require a more comprehensive approach that includes structuring their family office, planning for capital liquidity events, and diversifying wealth geographically. They also seek guidance in setting up offshore investments and strategizing estate planning. To put it simply, they are focused on wealth expansion and optimization. On the other hand, inheritors typically take a more cautious approach. Most of the groundwork is already done for them. They need to keep up with the evolving times. Their priorities are often centered around safeguarding family assets, legacy planning, and ensuring smooth wealth transition across generations. In this regard, Kotak Private has a curated program called Next Gen Connect. We invite the second generation wealth inheritors for a day-long session where they can broaden their horizon. By meeting industry experts and peers, they can take charge of their wealth with confidence. An investment advisor is more than just a product selection expert. We are trusted partners in a client's financial journey. Our role is to provide conflict-free, hyper-personalized guidance that aligns with their risk profile, goals, and evolving financial needs. Beyond investment strategists, we also serve as sounding boards for all things finance. We offer clarity on intricate financial matters ranging from wealth structuring and tax implications to legacy planning and multi-generational wealth transition. With regulatory body expanding investment advisory scope earlier this year, our role has grown much wider. This has driven an increase in demand for fee-based, transparent, and highly specialized advisory platforms where expert guidance is backed by strong digital infrastructure. This way, clients can enjoy the benefit of informed, unbiased, and non-conflicted financial advice. In my role, I've observed that women have a stronger inclination for ESG initiatives and social causes. Data from the India Philanthropy Report 2025 backs this too. Women have been leading philanthropic initiatives in over 55% of the families surveyed. However, in India, investing is still largely seen as a means of wealth creation and capital preservation for future generations. This is why philanthropy is primarily expressed through passion projects rather than direct investment strategies. Additionally, the impact investing landscape in India is still in its nascent stages. There are limited regulatory frameworks and only a handful of funds focused on this space. ESG-driven investing is yet to become a mainstream priority for UHNIs. Financial independence doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice. So my 2 cents, take active interest in your wealth, ask more questions and don't hesitate to take charge. The more involved you are today, the more secure your tomorrow will be. At the end of the day, your financial future is in your hands. So own it with confidence.